Come on. We will win. Because we will hit all game. We are motivated. We are dedicated. Come on now. Come on now. We will win. Because we are the best on the field. And we hit the field like all day like all night like on the blue light, offense like defense like his squad like house call like and it sound like and it sound like and it sound like. Looks right, throws it too high. Oh, it was called on the backhand. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He called it in. ECU the miracle win. In Lubbock tonight.
Goes for the end zone. The ball's in the air. It drops at the goal line. I think he counted for a touchdown. He got it. He got it. He got it. Touchdown, Nick Matthews. The Cougars win it. The Cougars win it. He gets in. He's got room to the right. Tucks. Throws anyway. In the end zone. It is caught. It's caught for a touchdown.
It's a good one. The set down. The kick is up. On the way. It is
goal. He missed the catch. Do you believe this? With 1:11 to go, he missed the kick.
He is up and the kick is no good. And the Cougars are going to win the football game.
Donnell Barnes over on the far side. He's going to keep it himself. Cut back inside. Slams for the touchdown. And the
forever. I'ma do this here forever.
Welcome everybody to the Short Sports Show. I am your host Daniel Short. Today is Monday, January 25th, and boy, what a weekend did we have for the NFL. Just really great games, both with the Carolina Panthers, obviously just demolishing the Arizona Cardinals. There went my pick, and and the New England Patriots really just beating themselves. We're going to talk about that. We're going to recap those games separately, as well as talking about some college football news. Not a whole lot of news going around. The intro you just heard is from Triune featuring EQ. The song is called Forever. You could buy it on iTunes right now or on wherever else, Google Play Store, all those other great places. All links are in the description below. So thank you to Triune and EQ for letting us use the song. And remember, the Short Sports Show will be on Wednesdays starting February 3rd. We are moving to only on Wednesdays as we enter the off-season, really. College football is basically over with, other than we have the Senior Bowl coming up this week. But, you know, college football news is starting to die down, obviously. And then we have the NFL wrapping up. We got the Pro Bowl and obviously Super Bowl 50. And then that's it. And then we enter our hibernation mode. Some of us have already started warming up the cave and getting ready and gathering all the necessary items for our hibernation of football. All right, we're just doing this one take now. I've tried doing this all over again multiple times. I got allergies going on right now. Thankfully, this should be a quick show, but man, I'm dying out here. Anyways, like I said, we're switching over. But the good news about switching only on Wednesdays is that not only will you be able just to hear the show, just strictly podcast like normal on iTunes and anywhere else you're listening, but on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, The Short Sports Show, which link is in the description below. Go subscribe while you're there. Check out the other videos that I have. We will be having the show on film. I have my camera. I have everything set up. It's just a matter of time. Just waiting for February 3rd to arrive here. And the Short Sports Show will be on camera so you guys could watch. I'm going to have animations. I'm going to have, highlights when I'm talking. Just like a normal, real sports show. But it's all because of you guys making it possible. So I thank you guys so much for that. So we will get started with that on February 3rd. So that week, we're not going to have a Monday show and then a Wednesday show. It's just going to be Wednesday. So I believe this is our last week of Mondays and Fridays. Am I correct? Let's look at the calendar here. Yeah, so this is our last week of Monday and Friday. And then next Wednesday, bam, just like that. So it's exciting. I'm having to learn a new editing software, which is very difficult. But hey, in time. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on into it. College football news first. And the coaching carousel had ended. It was done for several weeks now. Texas State, Ball State, UTSA, they all announced their head coaches, and we thought, all right, we're good, we're set. No more coaching spots. Everything's filled. Let's get ready for recruiting and, all the other stuff, National Signing Day. But not so fast, as Southern Mississippi head coach Todd Monken has resigned and is now joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach. The move on Sunday reunites Monken and Buccaneers head coach Dirk Koetter. The two also worked together in Jacksonville with the Jaguars, where Koetter was the Jaguars offensive coordinator and Monken coached the wide receivers for 4 seasons from 2007 to 2010. Southern Miss, on the other hand, they did really well in his 3 years. They improved, and they got much better offensively, and they got into their first bowl game, even though it was a loss to Washington in the Heart of Dallas Bowl. Getting from where they were at to now, amazing coaching job. In 2013, they were 1-11, just one of the worst teams in college football that year, obviously with the 1-11 mark. But, stats and everything, they were terrible to watch. Then in 2014, it went to 3-9, saying, all right, they're improving, but they still need a lot of help. And then last year, they go to 9-5, just shot up just like that. So really good coaching job by Todd Monken. Todd Monken did a really good job. And now Southern Miss, with 2 weeks before signing day, or a week, I don't even know how much time we got left before signing day, and they don't have a head coach. What about, and especially all the recruits that are already committed to Southern Miss? I imagine the guy saying, whoa, he's gone. Oh, what does this mean? Maybe they need to reevaluate. Should I still go to Southern Miss? Who's going to be the head coach, obviously, is a big question. But, man, what a terrible, terrible time. I understand Todd Monken's part, for switching, going, hey, more money, less work. Because even though he's going to be the offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach, he's not going to be calling any of the plays, which is weird as the offensive coordinator. Dirk Koetter, who was the offensive coordinator, is going to be calling the plays for Jameis Winston and the Buccaneers. So, I understand Monken's part of going over there, saying, hey, more money, less work. I got it. But, man, that really screws Southern Miss very badly. And he's not going to be, even though an upgrade that he created, he got their program back up, it's not going to be a lot of love there in Hattiesburg. Not at all. Oregon State announced quarterback Seth Collins, who started 7 games as a true freshman in 2015, will transfer. He completed 84 of 161 passes for 934 yards and 6 touchdowns with 4 interceptions. He also ran for 580 yards and 8 scores. Despite serving as a starter for most of the season, Collins wasn't the front runner to start at quarterback due to a Utah State transfer, Daryl Graderson, who is expected to win the job. So they told Seth Collins, saying, hey, go ahead and switch to wide receiver. You're a dynamic player, dynamic athlete. We want you on this team, but we want you to switch to wide receiver as we got a new quarterback coming in. And he was like, are you kidding me? No, absolutely not. So he will now transfer. Again, he was a true freshman, so depending on how things go, if he goes to an FBS school, he'll have to sit out. But then he'll have 3 years of eligibility with a new transfer rule. So he can go to an FBS program anywhere he wants. He could go to Oregon. He could go wherever he wants in FBS ranks, but he would have to sit out a year. If he goes to the FCS, he can start right away. And actually, yeah, because he could redshirt. So he would redshirt the year he sits out. So Collins, I liked him. I like watching him at Oregon State. He was very dynamic. Obviously, just as a true freshman, he did some pretty good things. Not the best of throwing, but again, true freshman going out there in the Pac-12 where it's really throwing it all around. It's tough. It's tough, but I don't know. Oregon State might have just dropped the ball here. Some other quick news. Wisconsin, they announced that head coach Paul Chryst, his 5-year contract was extended through January 31st of 2021, so giving him an extension. And this week, Michigan is required by contract to decide whether Jim Harbaugh deserves a raise from his $5 million salary. A lot of people thinking it might go up to, 6.3, 6.7, which, for a head coach is like, oh, yeah, that's good. It's a huge amount, but they will have to decide whether he deserves a raise. I'm pretty sure he will go ahead and get one. But, nothing too huge. Backup quarterback Cody Thomas is leaving the Oklahoma football program this spring in order to concentrate on baseball full time. Thomas is a 6'4", 211-pound junior. He met with the OU coaching staff and informed them that he would be leaving OU football team immediately in order just to focus on baseball. But Bob Stoops did say that if Cody Thomas decided in the fall to come back to play football at any time, he would be eligible and they would take him in right away. And then finally, Gunnar Kiel returned back to Cincinnati. Now, you remember him was the starting quarterback for the Bearcats, and he missed the team's Hawaii Bowl in which they lost for undisclosed personal reasons. But Kiel returned to the school and is, quote, doing well, head coach Tommy Tuberville said yesterday. So, don't know exactly what it was. Doesn't really matter now. But would have been, a great addition for the team for the Hawaii Bowl because it might have just changed the game for them a little bit. The last bit of news is Vernon Adams Jr. coming back in the East-West Shrine game, and in just less than a half of football, he threw for 191 yards and 3 touchdowns, which the West team won 29-9 in the annual East-West Shrine game. Vernon Adams looked really well out there. A lot of people said, well, he's real small. He's 5'9" out there playing quarterback or 5'10"-ish, whatever it is. Small hands. Everybody was doubting him. And then he goes in there and he makes incredible plays against these guys, both running and throwing. Didn't make any mistakes and just looked comfortable out there. Just did his thing. He wasn't, overly cocky or anything. He just went in there with a confidence saying, hey, I'm going to do my best. And he did just that, and it worked out perfectly for him. Great way for him to now somewhat wrap up his college career as, he was knocked out in the TCU game by himself, by the way, so I don't want to hear that dirty play. By himself. But he goes out here in the East-West Shrine game. The whole week of practice, all the coaches said, hey, he was doing great out there. They really liked what they saw. I believe it was June Jones who was the head coach for him, the former SMU and Hawaii coach. That was coaching Vernon Adams, saying, at the beginning of the week, I didn't think he had a chance to play. He was too small. He was all this other stuff. But throughout the entire week and now wrapping up with this game, he proved that he belonged in the NFL and that, hey, in a few years, he can be a quarterback in the NFL, which is great to hear for Vernon Adams Jr. I always liked him. And, he did solid. I mean, it's hard to say because, you had Marcus Mariota, the Heisman winner, and then you had Vernon Adams. But, I mean, really for an Oregon program, he did a great job. If he was healthy all year, the whole season would have been different for them because he really was a dynamic and an amazing player. I keep saying dynamic right now. But a great way for him to wrap up his college career. But then in the East-West Shrine game that I'm watching, we all remember that quarterback, and that was Wisconsin quarterback Joel Stave. We always talked about him on the show because every time Wisconsin was somehow ranked, obviously he's the starting quarterback, and in every game, it seemed like he would always throw an interception. And he really does. He honestly throws a pick about in every game. And I always joke about it, and guess what? It ends up happening. He throws a pick. Well, I tweeted when I didn't even know he was on the roster. I didn't think he would get an invite, honestly. But he did for the East-West Shrine game, and I tweeted when I saw him and said he's got to throw one last pick to wrap up his college career. He has to. A few plays later on that same exact drive, he throws an interception to no other than his own teammate. Now, players for example, like what happened, Wisconsin had a player in Joe Stave on one team, and then another Wisconsin player on the other team. That can happen. It's fine. They got to separate players, in different orders. And that's exactly what happened for him. But, man, was that hilarious because I knew he was going to have to throw a pick, and he just happened to throw it to his own teammate. His own teammate has to do it to him. I love it. I have nothing against Joe Stavit. I have no hate on him. I just think it's hilarious how there is a quarterback starting each and every week in a big, on a big stage for a big team, and he throws an interception every game, and they still give him a shot. They just don't even switch. It's just, I don't know. I find it hilarious that keeps happening. But yeah. Anyways, moving on. We just got some news coming in right now that Eagles, we're switching over to NFL now. The Eagles have just signed tight end Zach Ertz to a 5-year extension. No money has been released just yet. I'm trying to pull it back up. I just tweeted it. Yeah, it's a 5-year extension through 2021. No money has been just released at the moment just yet. No money. But some big news right there for the Eagles and tight end Zach Ertz. Now, moving on, we go to the NFL. And really, we're going to talk about two things, both involving the Carolina Panthers and the Super Bowl. As the NFC and AFC Championships happened, they wrapped up, and we all started with the New England Patriots taking on the Denver Broncos. Now, the Patriots were, again, a 4.5, 5-point favorite over the Broncos, and rightfully so. I mean, even though they had the defensive injuries coming into this game, a lot of people believe that the Patriots could just win this game. It was just the Patriots. I mean, they've been dominating. And with the Broncos, not scoring a whole lot of points. Especially last week's game, whereas field goal until the fourth quarter, they scored a touchdown, and that really wraps up the game because of a mistake by the Steelers. Now the Patriots, they go win. They're down 7-0 early in the first. They score a touchdown. But their kicker, Steven Gostkowski, I don't know what's the last name, goes in there, and he's like 514 or 541 out of 541 in extra points. He has never missed an extra point in his career. And in this game, the first touchdown for them, boom, he misses. And it's not close. It's a wide right. Just hooks it bad, terribly. And you're thinking, what just happened? This is the first time he's missed, and is this working in the Broncos' magic? What's going on? Momentum still with the Broncos now. They go win. They take a 17-9 halftime lead. And Peyton Manning looked, well, it depends. The offensive line did pretty well for the Broncos, and it looked like the Broncos had things going the right way, but you can never count out the Patriots and Tom Brady. Go win. And what worries me about the Broncos is their defense, how they really let up in the second half. And again, I know it's Tom Brady, it's the Patriots, and he could really just master any defense and just take it out. But, they knew what was going to happen. And the Patriots defense did pretty well, given what the Broncos were doing. In the fourth quarter, especially coming down late, where Patriots had opportunities to score points each and every time, and they could not get a touchdown. They could not fulfill a drive to even get in field goal range to put points on the board. And Broncos, on the other hand, they knew just run out the clock. And the Patriots kept stopping them. Finally, the last drive, Tom Brady hits Gronkowski, 12 seconds left. They ended up a timeout. Then they scored a touchdown again to Gronkowski, which might have looked like a little push-off from what I saw. It looked a little bit like a push-off from Gronkowski, but either way, it's a touchdown. You have an 18-20 game. Knowing that all this would have been, a 19-20, then he just has to kick the extra point, and we're going to overtime, tied at 20. But because he missed it in the first quarter, they have to go for 2 just to tie the game, and we all saw it. Just honestly, that looked like a terrible play. I don't know. They had 2 guys going on the outside corners, and then one guy with a curl. I believe Julian Edelman with a curl to hit the inside, and nothing was there. Tom Brady was under pressure, forced to throw. It's tipped up, intercepted. Doesn't matter. Game's over. Broncos go on to win it 20-18, and Peyton Manning is now going to the Super Bowl. First ever quarterback to lead multiple teams to multiple Super Bowls. He did it with the Colts twice, and now with the Broncos, this is going to be his second time. Tom Brady finished 27-56, 310 yards, a touchdown. C.J. Anderson really picked up his game late in the second half, and it just seemed like he was going to start taking over. I thought he was going to do a little bit more than what he did. 16 carries, 72 yards. Also, Rob Gronkowski finished 8 receptions, 144 yards, and a touchdown. But, you're looking at the Patriots now as they head into the offseason, and you think this team, which is weird because, that just happens, I guess, when you have a great quarterback. But there's a lot of holes they have to fill on this offensive side, and it's weird to say that when a team reaches the AFC Championship. And I know they got the injuries on the defense. Defensively, I think they're right. They're right on track. A couple spots, maybe another safety, which honestly, I have some gut feeling that Eric Weddle's going to end up signing with the Patriots. And whether it's a pay cut or something, I have a feeling Patriots will go after Eric Weddle because obviously the Chargers aren't going to keep him. So I feel like that safety hole is going to be filled. They can move another safety to a cornerback spot. But defensively, small little pickups. Offensively, the offensive line obviously has to improve. It's just been bad. It's not good. It's not good. Broncos defense, I know it's one of the best in the league, but Patriots, for them to clean up these games and get these victories, get an offensive line, add a few wide receivers. The wide receiving core, not good at all. And I know they don't even have a first-round pick. They can't trade up to have one. They have to forfeit a first-round pick. So they're not going to get a guy like Michael Thomas, Josh Doxson, Corey Coleman, which would be a huge upgrade from what they have for the Patriots. But because of the Deflategate, they're out of the first round. Broncos, on the other hand, I don't know if I'm sold. I don't know if I'm still sold on them. And I know my friend Dimitri is going to be listening, and he's but the Patriots, they don't have the best of defenses, but they really kept the Broncos in check. And then they're going to go against the team, which we're just about to talk about, and the Panthers and their defense. I don't know. I'm seeing the Super Bowl all over again of a repeat with the Seahawks and the Broncos. It's happening all over again for me. That's what I'm seeing in my head. Anyways, let's move on. So the Broncos go on. They win. They're going on to the Super Bowl 50. They will take on the winner of the Arizona Cardinals and the I keep wanting to say Charlotte. Doesn't matter. Carolina Panthers are in Charlotte. And the Panthers, wow. Carson Palmer. Apparently there is a difference in regular season Carson Palmer, MVP caliber, and then there is the Carson Palmer of the playoffs. And it was not good whatsoever as they get demolished 49-15. It wasn't close. It was 24-7 at halftime, and then they just made it rain on them 49-15. I feel bad for Larry Fitzgerald. I picked the Cardinals to win because I thought the defense would step up. I was thinking maybe the Panthers be a little too cocky, a little too hyped, where the Cardinals would kind of smack them in the mouth a little bit, and Panthers would be, shocked and could have bounced back, but did not happen. It was the other way around. The Cardinals didn't even look like they belonged in the playoffs. They got pushed around no matter what whatever the Panthers wanted to do, the Panthers got it done. Cam Newton just stood in there, delivered beautiful passes, and got what he wanted. Corey Brown for the Carolina Panthers, 4 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown. Jonathan Stewart, 19 carries, 83 yards. Cam Newton, 19 of 28, 335 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Carolina Panthers as they win 49-15. It's crazy. That is crazy. I don't think anybody saw that amount of points in this game. But Carolina, honestly, they just looked like the team of destiny. Now, they are the second team to be 15-1 and go to the Super Bowl. Last team was the 1985 Bears. So we saw how that worked. And this defense, I don't know if we can compare it to the same caliber as the 85 Bears, but damn, it is close. It is close. This team can force the quarterback to make. Obviously, this was just picture perfect for the Panthers. Clear example. You take a quarterback like Carson Palmer, who we thought, along with Cam Newton, could be MVP because of what they've accomplished and what they did this season. And you see, so basically you have an MVP caliber quarterback in Carson Palmer going on the road to take on the Panthers and get crushed. Just through 4 interceptions, had 6 total turnovers, 7 total turnovers for the Cardinals. I mean, the Panthers got what they wanted. They did whatever they want. So now they're going to take on a team which will do a much more in-depth preview of the Super Bowl with the Broncos and the Panthers now later next week. But it just shows that this Carolina team is the most complete team in the league. They truly are. Offensively, and it's weird to say with these wide receivers. I mean, you look back when Kelvin Benjamin went down, I don't think anybody had any clue that this Panthers team would be this, would end up being this. I think we all thought, all right, maybe they go 7-9 again, 8-8, at most 10-6. But I think a lot of people thought 9-7. That's where, at least that's where my range was. The people I talked to, that's what their range was, saying, hey, this team's probably going to be 8-8, 9-7. Just, great defense. I don't think we thought it was going to be this great, but solid defense, top 5 defense, but offensively, Cam just needs more help. They just need more wide receivers. And Corey Brown, all these other guys started stepping up. Devin Funchess is slowly growing to becoming a better wide receiver. He's taking necessary steps, but man, these guys are growing together as a team, and they are going to be something when it's all complete and they add more weapons. Imagine a Corey Coleman or a Michael Thomas if one of those guys slipped down to the Panthers at the 30th or 31st overall pick, depending on where they ended up. But this Panthers team, they are going to and they're still young. Defensively, obviously, they're going to have to replace guys like Thomas Davis, Roman Harper. You're going to have to replace some of those guys, but they can find some of those guys in the draft and free agency. Maybe even Eric Weddle goes to Charlotte. I keep saying Charlotte. Whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. I know I'm looking ahead to the offseason already, but man, Carolina, I think you could just go ahead and book them right now. They opened up as a 5.5-point favorite. You got different, depending on where you look, they open up from different spots. They go from 3.5 to 5.5. It's between there, and you also have like a 4.5. But Panthers still are the Super Bowl favorites right now. The over-under is set at 44.5 points. And Carolina began the year, so we all know, 60 to 1 odds to win the Super Bowl. 60 to 1 odds to win the Super Bowl. And it's probably like what? I don't know odds, but I'm just saying it's close. It is close. So the money I just saw right here, the money for the Eagles tight end Zach Ertz is $20 million in guaranteed, and total contract a $42.5 million. So pretty crazy for him. And also, I just saw something that apparently Vince Young was arrested early this morning in Austin on a misdemeanor. Was arrested on a misdemeanor for a charge driving while intoxicated. Good job, Vince. Always improving your life. Vince Young, what could have been. Finally wrapping up, Carolina Panthers outside linebacker Thomas Davis said nothing will keep him from playing against the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 50, not even a broken arm, in which he has. Now, apparently, he already this morning, he has had surgery on that arm, so he wanted to get surgery as soon as possible. Already, I don't know how quickly you can recover from that, but before knowing that he had surgery, he broke his right forearm while making a tackle late in the first quarter, and he said, quote, "I ain't missing the Super Bowl. You better believe that. The early prognosis is it's broken. We'll get it figured out. I'll be ready in 2 weeks." Now, defensive tackle Kawan Short, his teammate, said, if anyone can make it back, it would be Davis. Quote, "I don't put it past Thomas. 3 ACLs, broken fingers. It hasn't stopped him yet. You will have to take away his jerseys from him, all 5 of them, even the home ones, the ones at home too, before he sits out." End quote. So a lot of people thinking he's going to make it back. I truly hope so. I think it's some way or some form. I mean, if Ray Lewis had that tear in his arm and he still played with that huge brace, I'm pretty sure Thomas Davis is going to go out there and do the exact same thing to make sure he could play. Panthers head coach Ron Rivera said, quote, "I don't doubt any word he says. If he says he will be ready, I know he will be ready," end quote. So Thomas Davis, again, had surgery this Monday morning. So whether or not he'll be good to go, that is something to look forward to. But I hope he is. Obviously, the Panthers do need him, the caliber and the guy, the type of player he is. But at the same time, you gotta be smart. Don't want to lose your entire arm. No, I think he'll make some type of contribution to the team, and I think it's just a huge brace they're gonna put on him. And if he has if his arm goes out, his arm goes out. But he's playing in that Super Bowl, and it's going to be a fun one. February 7th in Santa Clara, California. Woo, man. It's crazy to see the season. You look at every other sport, baseball, basketball. That's really it. You look at all those sports and the season. Yeah, I know there's more games, but it goes so long. The whole season, it feels long. And then when you have football, even if you want to count from offseason or from OTAs to the end of the season, Super Bowl, it goes by so fast. But the offseason, it's just so slow, and it sucks. It takes forever, and I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss football. We got the Pro Bowl, though, this week. I don't know how fun it's going to be, and I don't know. I'm just going to miss football, guys. I'm just going to miss it. That's it for today's show. It was a very quick show, I know. Just not a whole lot of news. But Monday, and that's why we're switching over to Wednesdays, because then it'd be like a Monday and a Friday combined each week as there be more news that whole entire day that we can go through. And especially with the video thing, we can do more stuff. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So thank you guys so much for the support. As always, God first, God bless. I will be back this Friday morning. Actually, no, that is a lie. Thursday morning, I will have a show. I forgot. I'm having someone come set up brand new internet for me on Friday. So I'm upgrading my internet, guys. It's been pretty lacking over here. So I cannot do it on Friday. So Thursday will be our last show until we switch over to next Wednesday. So thank you guys so much. Follow me on Twitter at @short_sports247. All links are in the description down below. And as always, God first, God bless. I'm out. Peace.
Forever, I'ma do this here forever. Forever, I'ma do this here forever. Forever, I'ma do this here forever. Forever, I'ma do this here forever.
I didn't came way too far for me to stop it now. I didn't work way too hard just to drop it now. We came so